All right, Assalamualaikum everyone. How are you guys doing? Good. I love that. I'm glad you're doing okay. But alhamdulillah, jazakallah khair for joining us today. Any word from the other two? How far they are? Should we wait or they'll join? Did you message them?
One of them said 12, 20.
Okay. And then Amir?
That was Amir.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll get started. So I wanted to actually first of all just welcome everybody. I know you guys all signed up. I'm so happy, and the young guys signed up too as a group. But before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment and ground ourselves. Like we're stepping into this beautiful responsibility today, and that is like serving people for the sake of Allah. And our teachers remind us that how we do that matters just as much as the what part of it. And the Prophet ﷺ taught us that actions are by intentions. So let's, with that, I wanted to begin with a clear one. We're here to serve with love, with sincerity, and humility. And we're not here for any recognition. We're not here to serve for like efficiency alone, but solely to be a source of ease and dignity for others. And our teacher, Dr. Omar Farooq Abdullah, often reminds us that mercy and beauty are the mark of prophetic character, and that when we serve, with gentleness, we make God's mercy visible in the world. And some of you guys, I think a lot of you guys were here when we first launched at the end of Ramadan, and we had our other teachers, Sheikh Jamal Diwan and Sheikh Fuad Al-Gohri, visit us from California, and they reminded us then and taught us that that service is really about being fully present, right, with people, and it's seeing them with a good heart and letting our character speak louder than our words, and that the smallest act done with ikhlas, which is like with sincerity, can outweigh a mountain of effort done without it. So as we begin, this is a reminder for myself first, to anchor ourselves in those reminders, right? And so that is namely to serve gently, to protect each other's dignity, to step in wherever help is needed, and assume the best of one another, and keep renewing our intention, especially when things get busy or challenging. And they will, right? That's life, right? But we all are here because we took on this responsibility that we've committed. So with that, just renew your intention throughout. And lastly, I just wanted to, make dua that may this project be a means of benefit and of clarity and closeness to Allah for all of us. And may it be a source of benefit for those we support and a means of purification for our own hearts. And may He allow us to mirror, even in a small way, the love, humility, and presence of the Prophet. And then I will pass it to Hazel for...
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Alhamdulillah. I'm so glad to be here. One of the things that is so important to also remind ourselves is actions are based on intentions, but also understand that to be in community is to be inconvenienced. And so when we are doing things with one another and for one another, there will be those moments that are going to be inconvenient, because that is the point of being in community with each other. And so also to reflect on the current political climate. Like, I know people who have been affected by the SNAP benefits, for example. And so they used some of the money they had saved to buy groceries at the beginning of the month. Now they have some SNAP, but now they have no money to pay bills. So there's like a cycle, right? So it's Thanksgiving's coming up, some food was bought. So to say that the current political climate is also something that, subhanAllah, affects everybody's lives, every single one of us. And doing this is really important, the basic necessities, right? It's one of the rights of the sons and daughters of Adam, as the Prophet ﷺ said, is to have a roof over your head, to have bread to eat, food to eat, bread to eat, water to drink, and clothing to cover our nakedness. Like, these are our rights. And so to be in this organization and to do this work is fulfilling one of the rights amongst many of the rights of the sons and daughters of Adam. So I just wanted to uplift that and understand that, being of service with humility and present with people really does change lives and perspectives. And so I pray that we're able to not only help with the groceries, but also be present with individuals, because people will open up their hearts and share the joys and the lows of their own lives, and that's how we build community with each other, inshallah. And so, Bismillah, really looking forward to moving forward.
And with that, we're gonna have Ria come up and now really share the logistics. So those you know, so Ria and Layla Shalani, they're running this project, and so they will be like the point people for you all to touch base with, and they'll communicate the what's and how's and when's and all of that. So I'll just have her come and share the logistics.
Hey, Bismillah. Thank you, Yaramapa and Hazel. I think the word humility is super key, because the first thing I want to start out with is that we're not really initiating anything. We're actually rather reviving an initiative that our sister Zareen Al-Amin used to do very regularly post-COVID in feeding the elders in the homebound in her community in Detroit. And a lot of the folks who are on our list are some of those same people who are still in that situation post-COVID. So that's something really important that I want to keep in mind, that we're not blazing a new trail necessarily, right? But we're rather continuing some of these relationships and bonds that she, was, visionary enough and insightful enough, mashallah, to begin. And that's also a question that you might get from people is like, who are you? Like, where are you coming from? And that's definitely something that we've had to explain on the phone to folks. But when I mention Zarina's name, then it's like, oh yeah, and that's like a trusted name. So something for y'all to keep in mind, but there's kind of two parts to this. So I'll start with what we'll be doing, and then I'll go through kind of the steps. So the first big thing, you all saw kind of on the sign-up sheet, is the groceries once a month. And so that will be, kind of the primary task of every family, to every family that they're taking on, right? Because I know a lot of you are volunteering with your families. So that's kind of the first mission. And then the second is relationship building and community building, right? Because we're not just another Instacart, right? Like, you could easily, right, like, get someone's address and order groceries for them, right? But we want to be something a little bit more than that, and connect, each other from wherever we're coming from, whether it's in Detroit or a different suburb to a different community, right? And so the delivery aspect is also the second big bucket, and will involve, to the extent that people are open to it, like a home visit, because many of these people aren't able to leave the house. They may be able actually to afford their own groceries, but for whatever reason, are physically disabled, right, or just can't leave the house as much. And so a lot of them, when we did kind of these screening calls, were really open to, having someone come by and just chat, and kind of catch up. And so our hope is that, and we intend on these initial pairings to be, kind of for the next few months or so that you can build a relationship. You're going every month, visiting, catching up. And so, 6 months from now, inshallah, by the time we get to the summer, you'll have a relationship, with the people that you're visiting every month. So that's kind of the two prongs of the thing. And if anyone has questions at any point, please feel free to stop me. Then how we're going to do it. So I see kind of like 3 steps. You don't have to remember all of this. We have your emails. We're going to email everything out, in some documents. But broad overview. The first step is the screening call, right? So Layla and I, we really want this to work on your schedules. We don't want to force you into something, right? Again, a lot of you are doing this with your families, right? It's like, herding cats or whatever, right? Like, so we're not going to be like, oh, like December 22nd, like everybody has to go. You know, it's going to be for the month of December, you coordinate with the family that you're delivering to and pick a time that works for you, you know, to do the groceries and then to deliver them, inshallah. So that first step is reaching out to the family. And we have right now 6, maybe 7, that are all located in Metro Detroit. Most of the folks are in Detroit. There's one in Dearborn and I think one in Highland Park. So you will be assigned to a family. And so your first task is going to be to reach out to them to confirm a time and a day when you can come by. And then also to get their order, okay? And again, we want to make this like work for you guys, right? So it's not going to be like, look at the Meyer catalog, you know, and just like pick whatever you want. We'll send out like kind of an order form. And folks know this because we've discussed it initially, but you'll have like buckets, right? So like fresh produce, dairy, canned items, that kind of thing. And you can just go through each kind of category with the family and confirm like what it is that they want, you know. And we're not gonna try to get too specific about brands, you know, like again, just to make it easier for y'all, you know. So keep it kind of generic. And then you'll confirm, you know, what it is that they want for that month. Our budget for the month is $100, which again, inflation, like that's not a lot, right, for the month. So just be maybe prudent, you know, when you're shopping. And inshallah, you'll be reimbursed for that amount by North Star. So that brings me then to step 2. So once you confirm the order, confirm the time and the day, and I should also say when you do that screening call, to also ask whether they are open to a visit or not. Some people may be, some people may not be. You know, it's just their personal preference. And so then you can kind of plan and gauge, you know, how much time you need to allot for the delivery as well. Yes, I think that's it. Any questions on like that first step?
Are we taking like warm meals also? Was that part of?
Oh yeah. So within that $100, we were also thinking
we can maybe do push it to 125.
Okay. Yeah. When we send everything out, you know, and maybe that'll change per month also, whatever the budget is. But to include a warm meal for that day, it doesn't have to be elaborate. Shawarma sandwich, something like that. You know, something that you could share with that person while you're visiting. So that will be the first step is the groceries and the warm meal, and confirming, you know, the time of the day with them. And when you're doing that screening call too, just again, we're approaching this with humility, right? You don't want to ask people why they can't afford something, you know, or like why they can't leave the house. Alhamdulillah, all these people are come to us kind of pre-vetted already, and you know, we want to give people their dignity, you know. So if that's something that you get into when you're talking and you're, you know, that's fine. But on the phone, we don't want to alienate people, you know, and make them feel like, oh, we're doing some big act of charity, you know, because this is as much about us building relationships with them as it is doing the service. So step 1. Step 2 is the grocery shopping, right? And again, I laid out the budget. You are totally welcome to shop wherever you want within that budget. Like if Costco makes sense to you, that's great. If it's, you know, Abdo or a halal market, that's also fine. We do have an option for protein and meat on the order form. I don't necessarily want you guys to have to go to multiple places. So if it's not feasible for you to get fresh meat that month, that's fine. You know, there's many different protein options that folks can have. So don't feel like you have to go out of your way necessarily.
So they'll be getting a grocery list, right? Like of what?
Yep. Yeah. So we have. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. We're gonna send this to you guys, but it's like a checklist, you know. So you'll go through this on the phone with the family, right? Of like, okay, fruits. Do you want apples, bananas, blah blah blah, right? And then we'll also have a guideline of like choose 2 or choose 3, like from this category, to kind of streamline things for you. So yeah, step 2 is the groceries. Go whenever you want. You know, this is on your schedule and whenever works for you. And then step 3, inshallah, is the delivery. And like I mentioned, just confirm with folks beforehand, maybe the day of or the day before, you know, if they're still available, there's a window maybe that you can come by between. Confirm again that they're okay with you visiting, you know, if that's mutually workable. And then, yeah, I think it's kind of self-explanatory, right? Again, one of our goals is the conversation, you know, and cultivating that. So to the extent that, you know, folks are open to it, right, you can share that meal together. And then that kind of closes out, you know, your job for the month. On the back end, then, make sure you keep your receipts. And I'm going to, at the end of this, like, pass around a QR code for our group chat, so you can send your receipts to me and Layla through there, and we'll make sure you get reimbursed in a timely manner, inshallah. And we'll also follow up with you at the end of the month, just to make sure that you've done, you know, the delivery for that month. And if anything comes up, we're always available to you. Of course, you know, if you can't do it, we can try to, you know, cobble some other volunteers together, right, to see if they can double up. So our, you know, one of our big goals is to make this easy, you know, as easy as possible. Of course, you are going to be inconvenienced. That's the nature of service. But we want this to be something that works for you and your families and is, you know, something that is sustainable, you know, for many months, inshallah. I also wanted to say on the groceries, if you want to spend more than $100 or $125, whatever we set that number as you are more than welcome. Just know that you will only be reimbursed up to a certain point. And also keep in mind that this is going to be a monthly thing, right? So you don't want to come, you know, bursting out of the gate with $300 in groceries, you know, and the next month be like, oh God, like, you know, I've already set that expectation. So just keep that in mind, whatever you do choose to spend. I think that's it. Any questions?
The list that you are going to give them with the grocery list, you know, select 2, select 3, and things. Is that already kind of, you guys kind of already gauged the amount? Like, it should all work within $100?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And that's like kind of our rough estimate. Obviously, prices are going up and down, you know, so yeah. Wholesale, you know, if that works for you. But yeah, and we're taking our cues kind of from local food pantries and food banks that have that allotment, you know, so that's our guide. Yeah, there is most of these households are like 2 people, 2 to 4. One household is 10 people. So whoever gets assigned that one, you will have a different budget, obviously, for the month. But other than that, you know.
Who's here that's doing it as a group? Like, not as an individual?
Like with your family?
Yeah, with my family.
No, these guys are doing it as a... Are you guys doing it individually? Or are you guys doing it as one?
All 3 of you are one group?
No, there's like 5 of them, 2 of them.
Oh, okay, cool.
So maybe give them like a 10.
Yeah.
You'd have more people to visit. Yeah. Like, I mean, it's in one. It makes more sense. But no, they're much all... There's who? Is it 5 of you or 6 of you guys? 6? Okay, there's 6. So there's 6 of them doing it as a group.
I have a question. Are these, I'm just thinking about like the holidays coming up, are all of these families Muslim?
Everyone is Muslim.
Okay.
All of our contact people are Muslim. Not everyone in the household may be Muslim.
Okay.
So it may be something you can ask, you know, like if that's...
sensitive.
Totally.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the original list that Zarina put together was for Ramadan. and iftar deliveries. So someone in the family would have, would have been observing, Ramadan. I had one more thing to say. Just flew out of my head. We want you guys also, when we do these monthly follow-ups, we're going to be asking for your feedback, because this is like a pilot. Like if it makes more sense for us to collectively shop and then people pick it up from somewhere, like maybe that's what makes sense. So we're totally open to like changing this format as we go.
I'm like, while you were talking, I was thinking about, like, my son is 13, and
Yeah.
there's a group of boys
Yeah.
that are the same age, so I was just thinking, what is a way we could facilitate for them to visit,
Mhm.
but also provide the groceries, so for, like, younger kids to participate, but
Yeah.
obviously they won't be able to do everything from start to
Yeah,
so
start
if
to...
there's, like, a variation of this for younger kids.
Yeah, and when we get to Ramadan, like maybe we have some kind of like collective packing or something like that, something more frequent, where the kids could be involved from step one, but certainly on the visit, they're more than welcome to do that.
And what's the commitment again? Just so everybody.
What do you mean?
Like, you're joining in not to drop off like after 2-3 months.
Oh.
Yeah. Like
6 months. Let's call it 6 months. If something changes any month, like you're traveling, finals work, whatever it is, just get in touch with us beforehand, before the end of the month, preferably.
There's a month that you can't do.
Yeah.
So my family and I, we were part of delivering during Ramadan, and one thing we noticed was like initially, sometimes people would just like grab the food and go.
Yeah.
But as they continued to see us being really the same people,
Totally.
then conversations
They warm up.
like started happening on
Yeah.
our porch.
Yeah.
It was, COVID, so we didn't go inside or anything.
Yeah.
But that was really nice. Like just in the beginning, it may be a little like some like thanks, but as it continues, like there may be more.
Like any relationship.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. I'm gonna do this right now. I'll pass around a QR code so you guys can be all in the group chat. And everyone signed up on the Google form.
Or Zephy? Which one?
The Zephy one.
The Zephy, and the Zephy has emails, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we have all of your
So maybe we
emails.
could just send that QR code as an email, like in an email with everybody that's not here.
Yeah, I'll probably do a link and not a QR code.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Does that
Okay.
all fair?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
And you guys have like I guess like I'm sure once you guys join the WhatsApp group, you'll have direct contact numbers for Ria and Layla to reach out to directly.
Yep. So I'll also say it's November 23rd. By the end of this month, inshallah, we're going to get you your assignments for December. And then you have the month, to use it how you'd like.
So officially starting December with the deliveries. Okay.